Hi,
Louise, how
Mike.
are you? Hi, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Let's talk about late phases, which I absolutely loved, by the way, so congratulations on that.
It was a wonderful story for a man. When I read it, I was very, very moved. And I said, my God, this is a great, great part. And Nick did a superb job.
Absolutely. So for people who haven't seen the film, just give us a little quick breakdown of it and what your role in the film is.
Well, Nick is a blind Vietnam vet, and his son is bringing him to a community where he feels he'll be safer. And I'm one of 3 women that come to greet him when he first gets there. The story becomes a bit of a mystery, and the director doesn't really want the audience to know who is creating the havoc.
Right.
But it just it's sort of a lot of strange things are happening to people, and we don't know who is causing it or why it's happening. But I am very sympathetic and understand the soldier plight. It just it really bothers me. So many times when they send them back and forth and back and forth. I don't think we've ever had situations like we've had in the last couple of years where soldiers are sent back and forth so many times. It's very disturbing.
Sure. And I understand that that's part of the reason you got involved in the film. You've kind of been on a break from acting for a few years, so is that what got you to kind of come back in front of the cameras?
It did. It really moved me. I knew that, I didn't really have a very large part in it, but I wanted to be a part of it because I was so astounded by, the writing and this part for someone who I didn't know at the time. I've been very involved in the public school system. I've been volunteering and tutoring since 1996, and it's sort of, I would go a couple of times a week, and I got very, very involved, and it's very loving, wonderful, peaceful experience, unlike all of the excitement and the nerves and everything connected with creating characters and getting jobs and going for auditions and all that kind of thing. It's really a different way of living.
Right.
And so when I moved here to New York, I got involved in that. There was a lack of reading skills in the public school system. It was like on the front pages when Mayor Giuliani was mayor. And I thought, gee, I'd like to help, and I didn't know where to go. And then I found out where to go and took my test and just kind of fell in love with that. I found that to be very rewarding.
Absolutely. I actually just came from volunteering in my daughter's second grade classroom. I do that every Thursday. So I came from school and ran home, and now I'm talking to you. So so I can relate.
Well,
I think that's a great cause.
we both do the same. I'm been working with either first or second grade myself.
Oh, great.
The first
age.
grade. I love the first grade. I love the first graders. They're full
fantastic.
of wonder. It's absolutely charming. Yeah.
So coming from that sort of literary world that you've been involved in, was it fun to get in front of the cameras again and sort of stretch a different muscle?
It really was, because it was Nick and he sort of advised me to improvise, and he liked when I would change something, and he said it was fine with this director to do so, and I did that on a couple of instances. I like the improvisational way that people are working today. I have another film that is still, being edited, Tapestry, and I did it even more improvising in that. I think the director began to count on me that he would just spring moments and scenes and just let go, do it. It's quite fascinating. I like that. I don't like to be exact anyway.
Right.
I've painted a little bit as a hobby, and I'm very, very abstract, so it suits me fine. And I'm a member of the Actors Studio. I'm sort of trained that way, not to get too involved in the words. And we had an exercise where he would just say, "Don't say anything. Just don't say anything in this scene. Just show me what's happening." physically. So
Right.
I'm into always, when I go for an audition, which I did. I got off the plane just one Monday night, and my agent called and said I was going for an audition the next day, and it had to do with sort of resuscitating. I was a nurse resuscitating someone. And so I said, well, is this gentleman going to get down on the floor? I mean, am I going to pump him?
Right.
He says, no. He's going to stand up. I said, well, give me the chair. I'll just, pretend
Right.
that I'm
Right.
doing it.
So, I'm sorry.
So that's
What?
that's what I'm into. One day at a time, one day
Yeah.
at a time.
Absolutely.
You never know what's going to happen.
No, that is for sure. That's for sure. I understand you've also written a few children's books, and I was curious what that experience was like for you.
Well, that happened from working at the very beginning. I wrote When I Grow Up, and this is after working at one public school for quite a while, and I just asked one of my students. Just came to me. I said, well, Jeffrey, I think it was Jeffrey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, could you tell me 3 things you might want to be? And he said, oh, yeah. So when he answered like that, I asked the teacher to have everybody in the class write down 3 things they wanted to be. And I took those pages home, little papers home, but who everybody wanted to be. And then I went to the library and researched what different animals could do, and I compared what the animal could do to what they could, become when they grew up, and it turned into a lovely book.
Very nice. Going back to the film real quick, I just wanted to ask you a question. I know you haven't done a lot of werewolf films in your career, and I was curious if obviously you weren't running around. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but did you come on set and hang out when they were filming the action? Was it something that you kind of wanted to check out, or did you stay away from that stuff?
I saw no werewolves.
Oh yeah.
I think the werewolves appeared on another location.
Gotcha. Well, I figured it was worth checking to see. So you've obviously had a very storied career, and you've done a lot of different things. You're teaching and writing and painting and acting. Do you ever wake up in the morning and think, "Gosh, I'm a television icon. People all over the world know who I am." Do you ever get a moment?
No, I never.
Where you
I never do that. When I wake up in the morning, I want to read something special to sort of set my day straight. I like Joel Osteen, and I was gifted this year with a book called Simple Abundance, which is very lovely. I try to just straighten out my head, like we wake up, we wash our face, et cetera, et cetera. But I like to sort of fill my spirit with something to reach for,
Sure.
set the mood. I know that at this point in my life, I know that I have a lot of friends out there, and people write to me in my home. Would you believe it? Yeah, there's always some person. I mean, the show seems to be constantly on the air, and then of course when I do get a job, all the more reason for them to run the show because they don't have to pay residuals, and they don't have to pay residuals.
Right.
It sort of stimulates other things, more showings, and more young people are just falling in love with that show.
Sure.
And so
sure. Yeah.
I know that I think of it as having a lot of friends out there, and I'm very grateful at an airport or a restaurant if somebody recognizes, or helps out in a situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But I certainly don't dwell on it, no. I'd rather read a good book. And I read a lot.
That's a great way to start your day, absolutely. So I have what I like to call the IMDb question, which is kind of a silly question I like to ask people. Are you game for that?
Well, sure, yeah,
okay.
yeah. I know that they put when you're working in a movie, Late Phases is listed, and then they tell all of the people that are in it, and Tapestry.
Exactly.
Burt Young and Stephen Baldwin are in it, with me. And,
so,
I know that they do that. So what's the trick?
So the question is, according to IMDb, you have played characters named Topaz McQueen, The Girl, Mrs. Pip, Carmel, and Candy. Which one of those roles was your favorite?
Say that again.
So according
Slowly.
to the IMDb.
I would. I already got one.
Okay.
But
so
you left out the most important one.
Well, I try to go with the ones that are a little more offbeat. So.
How about Grizelda? How about Grizelda?
Oh, Grizelda. Did I miss Grizelda? All right, so we'll throw her in.
Grizelda.
Miss Grizelda. So Topaz McQueen, Miss Grizelda, the girl, Mrs. Pip, Carmel, and Candy. Which one is your favorite?
Well, Grizelda definitely, and then Carmel.
Okay.
From the Stepford Wives.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Very
I would
cool.
say. Yeah. Oh, then the happy ending. The happy ending. I have no idea what my name was.
Right. Okay.
The Richard Brooks movie.
Yes. Mhm.
With Gene Simmons. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, great stuff.
Uh-huh.
Great. Well, thank you for playing along with that. I just like to have a little fun at the end. So what else do you have coming out for fans to look forward to in any of your arenas? I know you've mentioned Tapestry is coming out.
Well, Tapestry, I'm really curious to see how that edit, turns out. I'm looking forward to that. I went for an audition, as I said, the minute I got off the plane. That was Tuesday, and here we already are, Thursday, and the snow is coming down again.
Yep.
I'm just very open to see what transpires. It's been a very busy season for me in the sense that I'm a member of the Motion Picture Academy, and we screen in New York Tuesdays and Thursdays. And looking at all of the films, and now they changed it so that all the actors come in and they share their experiences and how they went about doing what they did, and then the foreign films and the major documentaries and the short documentaries and the animated films, they all come at the last minute because the companies will not send out anything until they know that they got nominated, because they usually don't have the money.
Right.
And so that's, I got ill. I caught a bug. Naturally, you have to have a bug once a year, right?
Of course,
if you live, in the city. And so I was, very, very taken and interested and fascinated, because I don't think I saw that many documentaries, Usually it's pretty, you're concentrating, you try to see everything that you can. And in this instance, it was great, just to have the time to really enjoy and experience and learn of all these incredible documentaries and the foreign films, of course. So, life is busy. It's always busy, and then working out, one tries to get over there or do it on the floor one way, one thing or another. I mean,
yep.
There's always something going on. And
That's
time
great.
for your friends, time for your friends.
Absolutely.
Most important, to be with your friends.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
All right, well, great. Well, that's everything I had for you today. So I just want to say thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I really enjoyed the film, and I enjoyed seeing you in it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.